What if I told you that the richest people in the world don't actually spend their own money? Sounds crazy, right? Because from the outside, it looks like they are constantly spending. Luxury cars, expensive houses, private jets. But here's the truth most people never understand. They are not using their own money the way you think they are. And once you understand this concept, it completely changes how you see money forever. From a very young age, we are taught a very simple formula. Go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, earn money, save money, and then spend it carefully. This is the path most people follow, and for the majority, it feels normal. It feels safe. But here's the problem. This system was never designed to make you rich. It was designed to make you stable, and stability is very different from wealth. Let's think about your life for a moment. You wake up in the morning, you go to work, you spend hours working for money. And at the end of the month, you get paid. And what happens next? That money starts disappearing. Rent, bills, food, transport, subscriptions, and before you even realize it, most of your income is gone. And whatever little is left, you try to save it. Or sometimes, you spend it on something you've been wanting for a long time. Maybe a new phone, maybe a vacation, maybe something that makes you feel better. And then the cycle repeats, month after month, year after year. And slowly, without even realizing it, you stay in the same financial position. Now let's compare this with how the rich operate. A rich person also makes money, but they don't treat money the same way. They don't see money as something to spend. They see money as something to use, as a tool, as leverage, as a way to create more money. And this is where the biggest difference begins. Let's take a simple example. Buy a car. A normal person would either save money for months or years, or use their savings directly to buy the car. In both cases, they are using their own money. Now let's see what a rich person does. They don't use their own cash. Instead, they take a loan. And for most people, this sounds like a bad decision. Why would someone take a loan when they already have money? But this is where the thinking changes. The rich understand something very powerful. They understand that money has potential. And if you use your own money to buy something, you lose that potential. That money is gone. It is no longer working for you. But if you keep your money invested and use someone else's money, you can still benefit from both sides. Let's break this down in a simple way. Imagine you have $100,000. A normal person might use that money to buy a car. Now that money is gone, it is no longer growing. But a rich person does something different. They keep that $100,000 invested. Maybe in stocks, maybe in real estate, maybe in a business. And instead of using their own money, they take a loan to buy the car. Now here's the interesting part. If their investment is generating 10% return, that's $10,000 per year. And if the loan interest is only 5%, they are paying less than what they are earning, which means they are still making profit, even after buying the car. And this is the power of using other people's money. This concept is called leverage, and it is one of the biggest secrets used by the rich. Leverage allows you to control more value without using your own money. And when used correctly, it can multiply your wealth much faster. But here's the problem. Most people don't understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. They hear the idea of using loans, and they apply it in the wrong way. They take loans to buy things that lose value, phones, clothes, luxury items, things that don't generate income. And this is called bad debt, because instead of making you money, it takes money from you. On the other hand, good debt is used to buy assets, things that generate income, things that grow in value. For example, rental properties, businesses, investments. These things put money in your pocket, and over time, they can even pay off the debt itself. This is why you will often see rich people taking loans, not because they need money, but because they understand how to use it. They understand that money is not just currency. It is a tool, and when used correctly, it can create more opportunities. Another important thing to understand is, the rich don't rely on a single source of income. Most people depend on their job, which means if the job stops, the income stops. But the rich build multiple streams of income, investments, businesses, assets. So even if one source slows down, others continue to generate money. And this gives them security. Not the kind of security you get from a job, but real financial security. Let's talk about mindset, because this is where everything starts. The difference between rich and poor is not just money. It's thinking. A poor mindset focuses on spending. A rich mindset focuses on growing. A poor mindset says, I need more money. A rich mindset says, how can I make my money grow? This small shift in thinking can completely change your financial future. Because once you start thinking differently, you start making different decisions. And those decisions create different results. The system you are living in is not designed to teach you this. You are not taught how money works. You are not taught how to invest. You are not taught how to use leverage. Because the system needs workers, not investors. It needs people who will follow the cycle. Work, earn, spend, repeat. But once you become aware of this, you have a choice. You can continue following the same path, or you can start learning how to play the game differently. You don't need to become rich overnight. Take huge risks. You don't need to do anything extreme. You just need to start understanding. Start learning. Start thinking differently. Because everything begins with awareness. The rich don't use their own money, because they understand something most people don't. They understand that money is not meant to be spent. It is meant to be multiplied. And once you understand this, you stop playing small. You stop thinking like everyone else, and you start building your own path. Most people will watch something like this and ignore it. They will go back to their normal life. But a few people will start to think differently. They will start asking questions. They will start learning. And those people are the ones who eventually change their life. So the real question is, which one are you? If you want to understand how money really works, if you want to learn how the rich actually think, then subscribe to Vault Theory. Because here, we don't just talk about money.